Good morning and welcome to the Really Big Football Show. I am your host, BA. I have with me Keith Ingo, James Martin, Jack Hirsch. Should have another guest on in a few moments, hopefully. But we are now in the, well, I can say, the playoffs for the NFL are shaping up. College bowl games are going on, although that's not as significant because there's 200 bowls going on out there. So that's kind of weird. But other than that, I mean, the NFL playoffs are coming up. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about Jack. I want you to reiterate. You went to a bowl game. Was Toledo and who was the other team that Toledo played?
Yeah, last Tuesday I was actually in a little bit of communication with Keith as I went because I know that's Keith's thing. I went last Tuesday night, Boca Raton. It was called, I forgot the exact name. It was with the Bush Beans Bowl, and the people were wearing those hats. I didn't get my free hat coming in. I was a little ticked off about that because when the free stuff is available and somehow I miss it, I get annoyed. But I wouldn't have kept that silly bean hat that people were wearing. But it was Louisville against Toledo. It turned out to be a great game, won by Louisville 27-22. But what got me was, how enjoyable it was watching a college game atmosphere as opposed to an NFL game atmosphere. As Keith pointed out to me afterward, it's so much more fun if it's a home team. And it wasn't a home team for either one of, those two teams. It was fun. But it also reminded me of why I like the NFL more, guys. The college games drag on too long. As great a game as it was, I don't like a 2:00 game ending at 6:00. I just don't. It's a little too long. At least the NFL goes maybe 3 hours and 10 minutes or whatever. But this was closer to 4 hours. And that's typical of college football. They drag things out. But I had a blast. And next year, they usually play at Miami's Hard Rock Stadium, a playoff game. The goal is to go there. But instead of a $60 seat, I'm going to have to spend about $350, $400 to sit in the boondocks. But, I'm prepared to do that.
Start a GoFundMe now. You'll be all set.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm going to bet on the game. I'm going to bet with Frank Laterzo, and that's going to pay for my ticket.
There you go. Bring Frank with you. That's
what probably plays into the time in regards to college is the first down rule. The clock stops every time you get a first down.
It's the eternal reviews, though. They review freaking everything in college football. It seems there's a targeting review on every series, and they have stoppages right and left. I like the fact I don't want them to do away with that first down rule because that's a big factor at the end of games. It does slow it down. I agree, James, but
yeah. Or
maybe they do it later. You only do it inside 2 minutes or something, but it's more the stoppages for the reviews and that type of thing. It's crazy.
That too, yeah.
So on the big slate of, I know we had 2 NFL playoff games going on too yesterday, but did anybody catch any of the bowl games? I know, James, you said you missed your LSU bowl game, but I think that's probably
I'm kind of glad I missed that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's funny. I used to love bowl season, and the week between New Year's and Christmas, all the bowl games felt like they had some excitement to them. I bet I have not watched one whole game. I've watched maybe an hour of games in total so far. The matchups don't seem to intrigue me. You tune in, you don't know who's playing because there's so many kids that have opted out. Coaches aren't there. Like I said, the matchups aren't that great, and there's so much focus on the playoff that the bowl system's in a lot of trouble.
No, Keith, I got a little educated going to the game last Tuesday. I look at it a little differently now. I was sitting behind the Toledo bench, and you see all the people from Toledo who traveled to the game, what it meant to the college kids, the staff, the program. It means so much to the people there. It means nothing to us. Okay, but it means so much to them. So all these individual bowl games, the idea that they get to travel, be part of an event, it's really important to them. And it actually is part of the educational process of going on a trip like that. We're looking at it like sports fans in a sense, like looking at the playoff picture. I look at it a little differently now.
There's great value for the programs themselves because they get to keep practicing until those games are concluded. So that's a good thing. Yeah, but how would you feel if you're Clemson and Penn State and got sent to 5-degree New York City with 10 inches of snow the night before the game?
You could always say you played at Yankee Stadium. No, that's a big thing. Watching Army in Connecticut, that's Fenway Park and freezing weather. But it's an experience once you get through with the game. It's agony to play the game, but it's the experience of a lifetime.
I'm going to have to disagree, Jack. I'm on the side with Keith here.
Now he agreed with me, so you disagree.
I usually don't disagree with Rick, but I'm going to say that I agree with Keith. I mean, it's just it doesn't have the same meaning. Players aren't playing anymore. The coaches are leaving a lot sooner, and it's oversaturated. I mean, a Pop-Tart bowl, a Duke's Mayo bowl. I mean, the Bush baked beans. You just went to that one. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't get a free bowl of beans to go with that.
James, I'm a pretty old guy, but when I went to Brooklyn College, I didn't play college football. I remember bowl games were not plentiful, and they had a thing called the Cocoa Bowl, and it created some excitement for the kids on the team and the school and all. Let's not look at it from our perspective. We couldn't care less, about all these bowl games. But for anyone who's playing in it, I mean, it's a big thing.
I suppose. And there's some guys who do get a chance to play because other guys have left. So I suppose there's that. But to me as a fan, and I am speaking as a fan only, I've lost interest in these games. And I used to have great interest. The week between Christmas and New Year's, every night you'd be watching a game. And you've had some kind of rooting interest, whether it was a wager. How can I wager when I don't even know who the players are going to be playing that day? There's anybody who's betting on these games is absolutely nuts.
And what you just said, Keith, that it's lost when it lost its luster, and in regards to the bowl games, I liken it unto the Pro Bowl and how it is now. To me, the bowl games are kind of similar. The bowl game was exciting after the Super Bowl, when players who played in the playoffs and in the Super Bowls went on to play. These are the creme de la creme players are playing. The best players of that season played in the Pro Bowl, and you got to see guys like, I remember Drew Brees had just come off a Super Bowl win, and he was out there throwing to Larry Fitzgerald. It was like stuff like that, man. It's just like, wow, you get to see these players play. But now you don't see them anymore, and now they don't even have the game anymore at all. It's just like it's before. It's not even a football game anymore. It's flag football. What has become of football? I mean, and so I don't like the bowl games anymore because nobody's playing. Nobody's playing, and then
you're filling up TV time. You don't have to watch it. We have so many cable channels now. It's all over. Look. During the regular season, when it means a lot, every channel seems to have a game on. You can watch the highest profile game. You can watch Ohio State play Michigan, or you could turn and you can watch, no offense, Keith, Albany play, whoever upstate.
I don't take offense to that.
At the same time.
To Jack's point, there is meaning for the programs, but the problem is these bowls won't survive without television. And I can tell you, there may be games on, Jack, but there's nobody watching them. There's nobody at the games. You showed me a picture, and I made a joke to Jack. I said it looks like Jack and all his closest friends were at the game because
the stands are pretty empty. I mean, I bought a $60 ticket. I should have bought a $30 ticket. I could have sat in the same
way at Yankee Stadium yesterday. All these bowl games are like half full.
At the end of the day, ratings matter, and bottom line is money.
They need
and I just want to point out the first Super Bowl ever played, the stadium was half empty in Los Angeles.
Oh,
Packers and the Chiefs.
That's a really
but that was like a first of an anomaly. So you're taking college bowl games now that have been around for the last 50, 70 years.
It was also
add on to that. Nobody wants to.
There was also 60,000 people, by the way, Jack, because the Coliseum holds about 120, doesn't it? I mean, so there was a lot of people.
No, there weren't 60,000. We got to look that up. My guess was they had about 35,000 there.
Well, to turn your argument against
off the top of my head, I'm taking a guess.
But to use your argument against you, these bowl games used to sell out. There used to be people at them. There aren't anymore. So we're going.
There's so many more bowl games. There's so many more. That's why.
That's the point. That's the
point.
But
it's how you manage it. The game I went to, if they put it on in Boca Raton the night before the playoff that are coming to Miami, New Year's Day, the night before or the afternoon before, people would be in town looking for something to do. People were going to the college playoff game, and it wouldn't be that far away. And I'm sure a lot of them would have caught the other bowl game just for something to do.
No, they'll be home watching the Miami Ohio State game. That's where they'll be. They won't be a Boca Raton Bowl.
I have a suggestion. You guys tell me if I'm right or wrong about this. Why not just take these smaller teams exactly. Wow. These smaller teams are teams that didn't make significant bowls. Put them in like a NIT tournament. I mean, a lighter tournament or several and just, because it would be more fun to watch. And, I think it'd be more competitive to see something like that.
Sure, definitely. I like that idea, James. If we got to do it, if we got to give these teams a chance to play, which I'm fine with, do something that creates some interest. I like that. Let's do something different.
Well, let me do a quick rundown of Saturday's bowl games and scores real quick here. In the Military Bowl, East Carolina beat Pittsburgh 23-17. In the Pinstripe Bowl, which you guys just mentioned, Clemson lost to Penn State 22-10. In the Fenway Bowl, what is it? Every park's going to have a football game in it now. Army 41, UConn 16. Did you watch this game, Keith? You said you might check this one out. The BYU at Georgia Tech.
I watched a little bit of that. That was actually a pretty good game last night. BYU. Georgia Tech had their way in the first half. BYU had their way in the second half. It was an interesting game. I didn't watch all of it. I was kind of checking in and out of it. I was watching the NFL, but that so far was the most interesting game and most interesting matchup I've seen so far.
Let me just ask Keith, but I just backtrack one quick second. The Connecticut game, Connecticut had an interim coach for one game. What's the deal there? And they got blown out. He didn't do himself any favors.
Jim Mora took a new job. That's why.
Right. But the interim coach, is he going to be hired full time? Did that one game make a difference to lose that badly?
Yeah, he's not getting the job. Let's put it that way. They're looking at bigger names there at UConn. They want to continue to build on the success of Jim Mora. And Jim Mora did have some success at UConn, relatively speaking. They don't want to. They're not going to take a step backwards with an assistant here. I don't think.
So did you guys talk about Kyle? Did y'all talk about Kyle Whittingham Friday?
Well, he hadn't signed yet. No, he had not signed yet, so we hadn't had a chance. That's a great hire, by the way. Great hire.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering, man, would nobody mention this? That's a big story.
Yeah, that's a good hire. Now we just need to get rid of the AD. We get rid of the AD, we'll be fine.
It's a little odd. Jack and I think have touched on this. It's a little odd for the AD to still be there and be part of the new coach. But Kyle Whittingham is about his. These words will come back to bite me. There's not a guy more squeaky clean in college football than Kyle Whittingham, and they need to clean up that program before they need to worry about winning. Both matter, but the AD's got to go for sure. I agree.
Well, the AD might not have any authority anymore because I don't think Kyle Whittingham comes there and has to work under the AD. He probably has an understanding that he's in charge and he's untouchable as far as the AD goes.
I'm sure he wants to clean house of anything he sees a problem, for sure.
And
You like to hire Brian as a Michigan guy?
I mean, we'll see what it works out to be. I mean, it's okay. I mean, whatever.
I'm telling you right now, best hire of the college football season. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be very happy.
177 wins is okay, man. I mean, in that division, I mean, come on, Utah has never been. Sorry, go ahead, Keith.
The most underrated coach in college football, Kyle Whittingham. I've been saying it since I've been doing shows, and he is
we will be finding that out this season. Utah in that conference is different than Michigan in the Big Ten.
That's funny. I remember going beating some really good teams in the Sugar Bowl and other places too. So he can coach.
They had some good runs. Trust me. Like you said in the SEC, we've seen that dude, and they've won some big games.
He's done more with less than anybody you can think of in the
country. Isn't he the guy that developed Zach Wilson?
No.
You.
Oh, BYU, yeah.
Jack went right to a negative point.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Where's the button I can press to get him out of there?
Anyway, so the rest of the bowl games, of course, that was a Pop-Tarts bowl game. Jesus. That was number 12 BYU beating number 22 Georgia Tech 25-21. In the Arizona Bowl, Fresno State beat Miami of Ohio 18-3. Then, of course, New Mexico Bowl, San Diego Aztecs beat the number 25 North Texas won 49-47 over San Diego in a New Mexico Bowl, promptly enough. And in the Gator Bowl, the number 19 Virginia Cavaliers beat the Missouri Tigers 13-7. And the LSU, last but not least, and sorry again there, James, Texas Bowl, Houston, 21st ranked Houston beat LSU 38-35. So that wrapped up all of Saturday's bowl games.
Another underrated coach in Houston, Willie Fritz. Third most active wins of active coaches, Willie Fritz at Houston. Good coach.
I'm surprised no one's grabbed him for a job.
He went from Tulane to Houston.